Hi everyone, Ken here. How y'all doing today? I have the MSR Mini EX water filter. Let's do a full 1 year in review and sterilization. So first of all, take it apart, unscrew the top, we'll set that aside. Screw the bottom, set that aside. You're gonna push, and then the filter itself comes out. I had already cleaned this one previously since my last hike, but I'm going on another one and I want to make sure it's tip top, and let's do it again. So these plastic parts here you can wash with soap and water. This I don't get any soap and water inside here. You actually have a little bit of oil inside here for the valve and the pump, but I do rinse this and wipe it out. Now sometimes you do get debris inside here, this little valve. You can pull that off, the little tab, make sure it's clean, and then put it back in place. You can just wash the O-ring with soap and water. The bottom part comes with a little gauge. This little gauge is to tell you when to replace your filter and to check the sizing of it. Your filter should last 30 to 60 cleanings depending on how harsh you clean it. But if this slides over it, it tells you the filter is time to replace it. And I believe you can replace these from REI. You can probably order them. Okay, so it also comes with a bag and a hose, a float, and the float will adjust how far you want your bottom part to be in the water. This will be supposed to be floated on top of the water. It does sink a little bit. So the hose itself, rinse with soap and water. I do hot water. A lot of times you have a little you can get this little filter right here clogged. It goes in the bottom of this. So just rinse this with hot water, let it dry, and replace it. So no, I've had this one for a year, and I've used it on many trips already, including lakes, rivers, some small streams, and it's actually been unbelievably good. One lake was kind of cloudy, and there's a lot of fish and debris. I couldn't get deep into the water, so I was picking up a lot of silt and stuff. Actually, the water tastes delicious, but the filter I had to clean every time I filled this up. Yeah, I didn't really clean it harshly, but I cleaned enough so it kept working, and there wasn't too much buildup on it. But overall, I have to admit, I do love this filter. I have no problems with it. In the States, it will keep you safe from anything. I know there's a couple other countries that you go into, this you might have to add water tablets, but in the States you really don't have any problems with it. But it is good to have water tablets with you anyways, especially if you're going to get water out of, say, just a hole in the ground. You know, then you filter it as much as you can, and then put the purified tablets in the water. So anyways, let's clean this. So you don't want any water to get back in here. So I'm going to put my finger over the hole. And here's the sponge that it comes with, or the scouring pad. And I'm lightly going to scrub it and get everything that might be building on the outside of it from the filtering. So this is clean. But anyways, when you do rinse it, make sure your finger's over the hole. And if you're out in the woods, like I would do this out in the woods, and I take my little bit of my fresh water, rinse it back off again, and put it back together. So that is all you have to do for that. Now to sterilize it, we're going to take pot of water. Take the filter and lay it in there gently. I'm just going to put enough water in here to cover it. And then we're going to put it on the stove and boil it. Once it boils, we're going to let it sit in the water for 5 minutes. And then you can take it out. But use a pair of tongs because it's going to be hot. And then you can let it cool down. So let's cook that for a minute. Okay, now that's been sterilized, we'll take it out. It's cooled down already. I don't need that anymore. And let's put it back together and try it out. Okay, so put the O-ring back on the bottom. I'm going to slide this back in. I'm going to screw this on. If I can hold it. Now this will stop. It has a place that actually stops. You can feel it stop. Okay? I could put the bottom back on if I was storing it. Well, if you wanted to store it, you'd let this dry completely for 5 days, all disassembled before you put it back together. But now we're going to try it out. So take that off. I use an Nalgene bottle because it screws on here. I use a platypus, but it doesn't attach, so you have to use a hose. Now there is a hose that you can order, so you could, when you pump this, you can go right into your bag. But I like the Nalgene bottle. It works good for me. And then you just attach your hose. We can get some water here. Here's a little mini lake. You just drop it in there. It's going to prime itself. And there we go. So it's supposed to 1 liter per minute. But as it clogs up, it slows down a little bit. But overall, this thing is a blessing to have out on the trail. For $90, I definitely recommend it. Yeah, absolutely. So that's all, everyone. Thank you for watching. Be safe out on the trails. Please subscribe. I appreciate it so much. That'd be doing me a huge favor. And like. Anyways, thank you and have a good day.